welcome to this GoCharting podcast, the place where trading meets technology. So, today we have a very special guest with us, someone who has been trading in the markets for over 2 decades, a true veteran when it comes to order flow and market profile. And here we have Vishnu, all the way from Kerala. So, Vishnu, welcome to the podcast. Super excited to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me here. Really happy to be here. So it was a nice event to be recorded with you guys, so that I can explore my trading techniques for your our Go Charting followers.
Great. So, Vishnu, see, 20 years is actually a very, very long time in trading world. So, can you take us back to the beginning? Like, how did you started your stock market journey and all those things?
So basically, I'm a graduate in physics. So when I got some computer-based job, I don't like that. So I shifted. I thought that I have something to do with other tech, which one area of something. So then I got a
Hmm.
which one interview with a broking firm. There I got test with the broking firm. So what happened now, when I joined the broking firm, I explored a lot of things in a broking industry, that one can become a good trader, good using the exploring the techniques and everything, and you can make a lot of money out of that. So when I shifted my entire focus to the broking industry, I got a lot of adaptive methods from my broking career. My broking industry people help me, so that I can able to understand the market in thoroughly. And when I being from the graduate in physics, I thought something I need to do in different in market. So that's why there I got a test from market profile from one of my friend. So he introduced me market profile and order flow. There I got a test. I tested and trained and developed a trading technology for me to live on the setup currently which I'm using.
Nice. Yeah, so me being a mechanical engineer and I also have a background in physics, I completely understand that physics is a very, very logical subject. And definitely we need lots of logic in the stock market, especially if you are an order flow trader and, analyzing big sell order, buy order, all those things. There are a lot of things to analyze because you have to create a complete picture of the market. So I understand that physics, helps you to get an analytical mindset. So I want to know, like, see, from physics to order flow, market profile, price action, it's a quite a shift, right? So how did this background help you in your trading style?
Like you said, na physics, it will teach you deep in subjects. So it will help you to understand what's happening in the market, how far the techniques and tools which you right now into go charting platform provides now. So this kind of tools, if I have to use this, this has to be help I got from the physics background only. So physics helped me a lot to understand the charting tools, the technology inside that, and by using that how I can able to make money for my which one living and other things. So this is what and it's helped a lot to understand go charting tools, like order flow tools, your market profile tools, everything. I got a which one help, which I the only from the physics my which one study background.
Lovely, 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 lovely. So, yeah, so Vishnu, you told me that you're from Kerala and you have a very lovely YouTube channel also. So we'll put the link of his channel in the comment box of this video. So, as you have told me that you will be, creating video for Malayalam speaking people on a daily basis, like daily market analysis. So, like today, do you have lessons, trading lessons for our larger community and also especially for our Malayalam speaking community?
Yes, here. Today's agenda is my planning is to say some basic of market profile and order flow, and how I am using market profile and order flow to make a which one trade based on that setup. So I will give three strategies here to utilize for the larger community, for those who are using this setup, and those who are want to study the setup also can adapt this trade setup for their own trading also.
Nice. I'm very much hopeful that this will help our community a lot. Super excited to go ahead with you. You can carry on.
Basically, the market profile and order flow is the charting techniques tools developed by many good one good trader. So order flow is a basically collective trading setup which is evolved in late 2010 उसके बाद. So in market profile it was developed by Peter Stelmer. So many you have which one researched and searched for the market profile techniques, and there you got that it was developed by Peter Stelmer. He was at Chicago board of trader. He used to trade it. So I'm not taking that part in a very large way. So I'm just giving an agenda how market profile, important things in the market profile, and basic and foremost important part is that how we can use the trade setup. That is the agenda
Okay.
in market profile. So can I go through that?
Sure.
Okay. So market profile is a charting tool, provides a graphical representation of the price, time and volume. That is why it is called a TPO chart, time, price, opportunity there. So Dalton, who was the secondary man of which one market profile, he's told that volume also having an important part in market profile. That's why the order flow comes into play. So currently,
Mm-hmm.
lively we only follow and market profile. It's only TPO, time, price, opportunity. It identifies some key levels like POC. For example, Friday. I will show you the chart. Friday was the a very important day. Friday, if you look at the market profile charts now, you will get to know that. So this was the Nifty chart. So if you go through this chart now, you will see a lot of things, very lot of things. You will see that if you see, this is a chart of Nifty in the Friday. So here you can see this is trending day. Nifty was opened here at 23,396 rate. It came down and moved back, and we closed around 23,848. This was a trending update. So in these kind of a days, you need to understand how the important level like POC. So I will get to the POC level. So my market profile identifies the key levels for you guys to take a trade, and
Okay.
it gives a sentiment analysis like what happened on Friday. It's a sentiment was to the upside. So if you are in a position like you are, it will help you to avoid contra trades, or you are not going in a bad way. In by the end of the time, you won't go in a bad way. So mighty will give a purely sentiment analysis. What market is showing. If you see this chart now, what you can see, the market is in range. It's not moving up or down, which means that I don't want to take. If you are an option buyer, step out. Like Jesse Livermore said, now there is a time for buying, there is a time for selling, and there is a time for fishing. This is a time for fishing. For me, I step out from the market and I will watch some series, or read some books. So market profile gives the identify the key levels. It gives the market sentiment analysis, and it improve decision making. You asked about the
Okay.
how I
So,
changed to the market profile now. When I used to trade with this candlestick, my number of trades is very high. When I switched from market profile, from candlestick to market profile, my number of trading came down. That's why improved decision making it came into play for me. And it will give a purely trend identification. When the market is moving up, like a failed auction happens now, the failed auction itself saying that it is a trend is changing. So market profile
okay.
I basically gives an idea of what market is doing. Is it doing a good job or bad job? So
Okay.
clear?
So what are the key points you look in the market profile, like the key levels, or what is your hypothesis over there?
Basically, I look for market opening primarily. Where the market is opening, that is my first key level. If market is opening a previous day's range above or below, which indicating that something is happening, gaps. Nowadays, the people are familiar with the gaps. Every day gap is there, up or down. Like Trump say comes into play, the gaps are playing like anything. So basically, foremost thing in market profile, you need to understand what is IB. How the IB is there. Like IB is the first 1 hour high and low. That is the IB. Initial balance. We used to say initial balance. Some candlestick players will say it is as an open range OR. Here we used to say IB. We need to understand where the market is opening. The second part IB, which is the initial balance. And the third part which comes value area. Value area means 68% of the time market trades in a price. For example, if you look this chart now, the value area is here and value area is here. So 23,730 tak 23 3 to 10. When the trend is there, value areas doesn't have any significance. When market is in range like this way, look at here, it's 23 291, 23 380, which means that market is in range for 68% of the day. The market traded in these 90 point. So value area like help you to understand what market is doing. The answer which is you will get the market is doing a balance. So the value area help you to understand the important scenario where the market is there. And the final and foremost the thing is POC. When you identify the POC, like for example, if somebody say that I missed a trade day, I missed Thursday cut trade. I said, nah, don't worry. You this look at here the market when Nifty gone from 23 200 300 to 23 850, the POC of that Thursday candle is still at 23 427, which means that the player who initiated the upper not yet booked so far. When you look the bank nifty, look at the bank nifty. If you look at the bank nifty, you see the POC is moved up here, which means that market closed around 53 236, the POC here at 53 198. What is POC? Largest volume concentrated price, that is called POC. Someone will call the largest volume area, whatever it may be. The price which highest volume traded is called POC, point of control. When you used to visit that, that's called marm, like we used to call na one point. When you touch that point, some like na when you point a finger to your head, something will happen, your head will spin like that way. Same way the market's point of control, that is a control where market buyers and sellers agreeable price. So if market is moving above or below that price, means somebody is in action who took the market from this level to that level. So basically I look for POC, I look for value area, and I look for initial balance. And first one is opening, where the market is opening. These are setup which I look mostly in the market profile area.
Understood. So I hope our viewers have understood these concepts, like what is the initial balance, what is the point of control, and what is the value area.
Eh,
Right. So these are the key important market profile concepts you are using, right?
Yes, and one more thing, I will use it at one single print. I need to follow single print. Whenever the trend day comes, single print means one letter printed in area, one letter at a time. For example, firstly I didn't mention that in candlestick we used to have a candles, but in market profile we mark the chart as a letter like A B C D E F G H I J K L and M is from, so every 30 minutes we have one letter, like 9:15 to 9:45 we have A, 9:45 to 10:15 we have B. If you search for the market profile, you will get the very thing. So
Yeah.
I used to follow this single print also. Whenever the trend day like Friday, Thursday like day comes now, the market will move like anything. So that kind of a day the price won't stay in some place. It flies like Thursday. Now what happened Thursday? You can see the market, the Thursday, the Nifty, you will see the market, it flies from one point to another point. So there is a lot of single print in the GoCharting. It's easily markable with I marked with the color of which one, orange. So I like orange, so I mark with the orange color. So you see whenever you know GoCharting line, you see this single orange color, which indicates that for me it's a single print, which means that the price doesn't traded here, one letter at a time. E here, G here, H here. So this also I follow, because now when the market comes from upper to downward line, for example, next day the market is coming down. Whenever this auction has to finish, it has to come and test the previous demand zone or a supply zone. So look at here, if market is coming down, this single prints area will finish first. So we can take a reversal trade. That is important. So you asked what are tracking. The single print I track for reversal trades if market is coming down. So single print with one letter at a time. So these are main
Okay,
setup.
so single prints, you mean to say that in this case, single prints will keep on acting like a support over
Yes,
here.
here it is support.
Hmm. Okay.
Also, for example, if you're a firefighter now, I sometime I used to do
Hmm.
firefighting. Whenever the market is creating a balance there and coming down, which means that this player is no longer active. So what happened? The market will test the previous demand zone. That is a purely simply as a market profile you have to see two words: demand and supply. Where demand means market moves up. When supply comes, market moves down. So if market coming down, it has to test the previous demand. So I used to take reversal trade, and I used to check the demand of this player. If he is supporting the market again, which means that then market can go up. So there is a lot of plenty trading opportunity there using single prints also.
Okay. So one quick question, like suppose the market is testing these support areas of single prints. So how will you ensure that these players are actually they are actually going to provide a support, or whether the support will not be there?
That's
You know.
yeah, your question is an excellent question. I liked it because now with the help of the order flow only you can identify that. So where if for example if you are seeing some buying demand by understanding the delta, if you are seeing a delta positive here, which indicating that somebody is buying. So when the positive delta comes means the buying into action. When negative delta comes, some selling in action. So whenever you see a buying delta in here, which means that this buyer still in the play, he can give a trade opportunity for us to give some profit. For example, I'm a scalper. Basically, I'm a scalper. I used to scalp in Bank Nifty and Nifty a lot. Majority of my trades in Bank Nifty. So whenever I have the single prints in action, I used to take 30 or 40 points with my lot size. So I go for looking order flow. I have a chart of order flow opening with me here. Currently, I can able to take it. So I will check with the GoCharting order flow, and there I will check that the demand is there. How only by checking delta you can identify the demand is there. If demand is there, you don't short there. You have to take a trend with these guys. This is how I am doing
Understood.
trade.
So, okay, so if I summarize this thing, the market profile setup. So if there is a single print, something like this on the screen, and if the market is coming down to those levels, and if we see a green delta, on the candle,
Yes.
we should try to take a reversal trade from these
Yes,
levels to
because
upside trade.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, correct. You pointed it correctly. This is how a trade
nice.
comes. So the question which you asked, this is the way to take a trades, because never go with the trend against the trend. That will like never short in a dull market. People will say that. Many people when I started my trading career, my guru, that is called my guru name is called Anirudh. He's told me that never short in a dull market. I didn't understand what he said, but I got to know by hitting many stop losses in trend that kind of days. So this is kind of a market. Never you have an opportunity, because if you can miss, for example, missing trading trend is very less. Not very oftenly happening to me also. Many people say that on Friday, Thursday I didn't thought that market will move up. But if you miss a trade, you have an opportunity. You have this profile for you to trade. If market goes above this area, this player will is there. But if market coming down there, can just check a buyer activity here or a seller activity here. If there is no buyer here, you can aim for this area. If there is no buyer here, you can aim for this area. But if a buyer here, then you can aim for upper again. So there is scalping of these are the techniques you used for scalping. Don't think that it can continue for next day also. So as a scalper, I use these techniques to make my money. Like I used to take 30 points, 20 points in Nifty, like 40 points in Bank Nifty.
Nice, nice. Okay, so now can we go to the next part of your learning?
So this is the basics of market profile. I just tell I told something basically for you guys to understand, because if you Google it, you will get many things of market profile and order flow. So next, the second one is called market order flow. Order flow is just it's called Dalton said that this is a secondary level of market profile. So you have to know that market profile is the foremost and finest thing you need to follow. But many people nowadays I'm watching in here and Malus also, they are coming with the direct entry to the order flow. They never go from the which one, first and second. They coming straight to the order flow. So order flow is just a simple thing. It's an X-ray of a candle, nothing more, nothing less. Like inside the candle, what happening, buyer and seller, you can watch. So I used to call it as a X-ray of a candle and real time data. GoCharting is providing a finest data which you can identify that volume, identify the players, identify the delta. It gives a finest level. So it's a real-time data. I used to call it is an X-ray of a candle. Nothing more, nothing less. It's a pure X-ray of a candle. So order flow gives you where, like now, for example, some usually people will use in a GoCharting candlestick. Some other people, some you see a you look at here, you see a red candle, but actually look at the here upper May, the cumulative delta is plus, but the candle is red. The whenever some people when you used to see the candle is candle is red, the market is coming down. Nothing that inside what is happening, that is important. So order flow will he give you a clear picture. Inside the candle क्या हो रहा है, it's buying or selling. Cumulative delta कितना है, selling में और buying में. A buying means it's not a selling candle. The candle comes with the open and close, where market open, where market closing. That is the color of the candle decides. But order flow gives you inside the nakedly you can watch how many people are buying, how many people are selling, whether it is a fresh momentum coming, everything will be coming into order flow. So that is the order flow parts.
Okay, nice.
So usually order flow, I used to understand the identifying the market sentiment. Like you said, na, like what happened the single print, what you will do. So whenever the single print, for example, today Friday, the next Monday, the market is opening with a gap down, something like that happening. So I used to check the order flow here, like what is it? Identifying the market sentiment. So if seller delta is continuously selling minus May, then what you can understand with the order flow? You can understand that delta is continuously selling means so nobody interested to buy that market, which means that the market doesn't have a buying momentum. And spotting key levels like institutional activity, some 5,000 lots are coming into play, 3,000 lots are coming into play. Bigger imbalance movements like 100 people are buying and 500 people are selling, which means that heavily selling coming, the buying demand is this kind of a imbalance, this kind of a institutional activity, scalping, everything. The order flow will give a perfect and clear picture for you to understand that.
Understood.
So basically, like you asked about the what you are using in the market profile. In order flow, I used to check with the first part is delta. Delta is nothing but total buy minus net buy minus net sell. So if 100 quantity buying is 90 quantity selling is there, 10 quantity net delta. That is called the cumulative delta, not delta. So what happened? Every candle the delta is adding. So that is called the cumulative delta. So delta will give you identifying the particular candle movement, and entire cumulative delta will give you the identifying that what is trend, what क्या हो रहा है market में. So what that will help you to understand cumulative delta. Purely it will help you to understand. But delta will give you net buy minus delta. What is happening with the candle, and the cumulative delta will give you the entire structure. For example, I will show you cumulative delta of Nifty. You can see the I am checking the GoCharting the platform. You can see that every candle comes, look at here, is the delta. Every candle 5.98k, 8.98k, 4.78k, everything comes. And what happened in the evening closing May? Nobody is pushed up the market, even though the cumulative delta is plus only. Here is delta minus, delta minus, delta plus. So this will give you when the overall delta is plus. Look at here, the overall, this is the cumulative delta to 26.34k, which means that who is in control of the market? Delta gives you the
Buyers are in
are the
control.
control. And
So basically, it will keep on adding all the data
delta
of the
of the
entire day.
particular candle, entire day it will
Yeah.
keep on adding it, and the end day closes it has it start with the fresh. So for example, I how I am using delta, that is a very big thing. For example, tomorrow there is a big gap, some gap down is happening with the some matter, but the entire Thursday ka delta was 26.34k plus, which means that this gap down is nobody anticipated this gap down. This player is not taken that into granted. So what will they will do? They will take this market by taking some momentum here, buying this area and lift the market to here and test the player. This is how the delta, cumulative delta. So every day, my book, logbook works on that. I used to mark the delta of every day evening. So I need to check with the next day market opening. If flat है तो कुछ नहीं. If market is opening with the 300 point down, then I will check the opening for 15 minutes ka delta. If there is no fresh sell coming and this player is in danger. So and these players are bigger players. How these props decks are working? Whenever they are props decks, I have an experience. Whenever we are in a when I was working with them, when we are in a danger, we used to make other people in a danger zone so that we can get our exit. This is a symbol so that never go against the trend. So the trend is here in bullish trend and close with a good trend. So if market opens the gap down and we need to watch the delta of the particular type, it is a minus, and this is how cumulative delta, and delta is having an important in order flow. This is how the order flow works in a perfect way.
Nice. So now I would like you to, put more focus on your strategy, like which you told me, which is finished business and unfinished business, because many people keep on asking questions on these things. So I'm super excited actually to learn it from you.
Usually, I'm going to start with the trading strategy. I'm giving three strategies just to follow you guys to make your living. So first two strategies based on market profile, and the second strategy, the finest thing, the second strategy is with the order flow. So can I go to the market profile strategy firstly, so that way I can take the order flow in a separate way.
Sure, sure.
So like I said, now market profile always having an importance in identifying the overall trend of the market. So I used to give a letter denomination for the market profile. What I am giving is that uh, I will tell you, I have some setups. Like I used to say that market profile is the letter based denomination of graphical denomination. So what I say that I used to say for the A letter, it's called an action letter. A for an action, B for balance action, C for cheating, D for direction, E for extension, F for fast or fail, G for go, H for hammer, I for initiative, J for joker, K for kill, L for L and M having a spike type. Clear? So you got
My
that.
God.
So
Amazing.
this is how I'm just answering. So whenever this C period come, when I never take trade in C period. That is my first trading technology. C for cheating. So whenever you get a C extension, C market profile 1 hour के बाद जो होता है, that is called extension. So 1 hour ke after the 1 hour, if market is going up or below in a C period, which means 10:15 to 10:45, that is a C period. That time I never take trades. 90% of the trades will come back to the older level, like POC or VWAP. So when you take a extension trade, that will give a stop loss. So that is how I used to give the letter as a name, C for cheating. So what
Wow,
happens
nice.
now? What happens now? Whenever there is a like I said now, D for direction. Whenever the market gives a direction, I will show you here. Whenever the market gives a direction, this is the first 1 hour high and low. A plus B is called the first 1 hour. So this is the high, this is the low. Look at here, D given a breakdown. Whenever D given a breakdown, it doesn't give a target. Like whenever IB extension happens, there is a target. Many people, you can Google it in for IB extension. There is a half IB, 1 IB, and 2 IB target is there. Like a three targets will have. Like if in a 1 SD, 2 SD, and 3 SD in a intraday base, somebody will say that. So it has to give a first target, which is called half IB target. IB ka half IB target has to give. If it is not giving means the direction is failure, which means that somebody is giving you direction inside the forest and he forget the path. What will happen to us? We also lost. We lost in the forest. That used to say. So same when somebody is giving a trade direction towards D for direction. It's giving a breakdown and it is failuring. which means that the direction is failure, and after the D you can take a trade back to B, the IB range, or you can expect more in the close. So this is how I do trades in D. I wait for a D to complete. I watch the D, and if it is giving the half IB target, then I say it's a good direction. Breakout कर दिया or breakdown कर दिया, it's given the target, it's a breakdown is a finest one, leave the trade. But here you have like eagle's eye, you need to watch the D is going to fail. If D is failure, it doesn't give a target, you have a wonderful trading opportunity that you most 90% of the time, you will, whenever it happens, 90% of the time the trade will reverse back to the POC, or a value area high, or a day high, or above that. Look at here, D failure kar diya, and what happened? By the close the market open kar diya, and this is a failed auction day. This is a failed auction day. So this is how the
Okay.
D trades comes. So I take
Okay,
trades.
so you specifically watch for D period,
Yes.
and if it is giving at least 50% IBR target,
Yes.
then you take the trade in that direction. Otherwise, you aim for the reversal.
Yes, yes. And nowadays I have a which one humble request for my which one those who are trading this and those who are trading market profile. Lot of machine tradings are coming to picture to track the IB trades. Lot of machines, because these are all driven, and softwares are driving this. So if you take a IB trade setup, your chances of making money is very less. I was doing this IB trade till 2010, 21, और उसके बाद what happened now, it's came the failure rate is coming up. So I stopped in 2020 to 21 last May. I stopped that. So many machines are tracking that. So that's why. So this will help you to track the failure. So there is a wonderful reversal opportunity for you here to take that, beat the trade, beat the market like la eagle eye karka. So whenever the failure, like you said about half, it is not giving the half IB target, there is a wonderful opportunity there. You can take a trade. Never it mainly it will give a 20 30 points easily. For a scalper, it is very good money. That's what I believe.
Okay, so if I summarize here, as I said previously, that if it is breaking 50% IBR, go for the direction, otherwise go for the reversal. So now you are saying that instead of looking for continuation trade, you should focus more on the reversal trade
Yeah.
of D period, because of many machines are have learned this setup and they are actually acting against this.
Yes, because so I watch for
Understood.
D failure, and sometimes D failure and crossing above high hand, which indicates that trend can also change. Look at here, the trend is changed here. I will show you another D failure in Nifty. Look at here, D failure karda, market closed here, in the back to the value area. What happened very next day? Gap up, huge gap up. So D, whenever
Mhm.
direction failures, somebody lead you. If somebody lead you in a political party, he fails means the entire system collapses. That's what happening. Sign like direction fails over the, that extension also failing. This is what D. I know a very good person, some from Gujarat. He always track this D only, and he used to trade with the future with a huge quantity. He's one of my mentor from 20 to 2010 also. So this is how he taught.
Okay.
He taught me, when you are into market now, you need to look for what other not. We have to look for the things which others are not following. You got that point now. In market profile,
Yeah, yeah.
that's why I used to hunt now many times for the last 2 years 3 years. I'm hunting this D also. I'm not looking for a big trades. I look for 20 30 points. And Bank Nifty, I used to get 50 points easily. That is enough for me to fill my belly.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so we understood this D failure setup.
And there is
Can we go to the next setup?
next, that is called E trade setup. It's a very good trade setup. You need to take in a direct way. E means extension. So sometimes I just take this only. What is the E? I look for E high and E low. For here, E high and E low. High. So I mark, for example, 24 23 449 aa gaya. I take now, I will keep it 23. What is the high here? The high is 23 620 minus 23 450. So usually e period may measure, most of the time market will give a pause. Most of the time market will give a pause. If e high or e low breaks and market is moving, then there is a higher chance that you will, that day can be a trend day also. That can be a trend day also. Here you look at 170 point is the length of the e here. Once it's broken 23 620, you mark the target. What is the target? 23 720. Look at here, touch kar diya na h mein.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I used to take here also. You look at here, it G में break कर दिया length, but a small trade. What happened here? You got the target. So I, whenever you 12, you have to be clear that the entry is very very important. Entry time here. I usually I take with the not taking checking the time, but after hitting some stop loss and after hitting some bad things, I added one more which one, spices to the this set trade setup, which is called time. So whenever this trade has trade high or low breaking in a, it has to happen in F or G. Clear? F or G, which means that 12, G means 11:15 to 11:45. So that trade has to happen in 11:45 to 12:40. In between that time, that break upper or lower has to happen. If not happening, avoid the trade. Clear? This is how I
Mm-hmm.
derive that trading, avoiding the trades. And and here you get a small stop loss. Look at here, you will get a small stop loss, 3 point, which is good. Always remember, now you can't be a trader without hitting stop losses. So
Yeah,
I'm happy to
absolutely.
take a stop loss here. Look at here, split kare to I will show you. E में F कर दिया, market is, and one more thing, this trade has to be closed before 115. This trade has to be closed before 150. So when the trade that the e period is, the three things you need to figure. E period is 11:15 to 11:45. उसका हाई एंड लो मार्क करना पड़ेगा. You need to mark high and low. Take the difference. That is your target. So if market is going above E high, add this difference and that is will be your target. Market is going below E, you need to subtract this target and that will be the target. But and this is the normal procedure. I added two things. What is the entry time? Maximum 12:45. What is the exit time? Maximum 115. These two things I added in order to avoid carnage to the my status. This is how I derived E, and it is having more than 78% to 90% accuracy. 78 to 80 that you can act. Whenever it happens, you will get a 78 to 80% accuracy. That is enough for your living. That is enough. Some one more days you will get a stop loss. That is okay. You accept the stop loss and you move on. But these kind of a days now, you will happen in 1 month. You will get a 1 day. This kind of a day will give you a clear profit. So you got that. You have any doubt for that? Nah, nothing.
Understood. Understood. So, what is your third setup you're talking about?
This is based on purely market profile. Those who doesn't know about order flow, these two setup you can follow. You can follow using, if you don't have any GoCharting subscription also, you can follow with the normal setup in GoCharting chart by marking the candlestick also. But you guys are providing with a very cheap rate, so you better to take it and grab the great market profile opportunity there. So what happened now? The third setup you set about, that is called market profile ka setup. Sorry, order flow ka. So order flow means, like I said, now order flow mean that is called a X-ray of a candle. Like if you are going to test for a cough, the doctor will suggest you to take X-ray of your chest. Like if you want to look at a candle, you look the order flow, then you will get a trade. Here, that's an important intraday trading setup which I am using for the last couple of years, and I'm getting a good trades. If whenever this happens, you will get a good trades. That is called unfinished business tracking, which is called usually, like I will give you an example. For example, you and me having a land deal. Clear? You are in your you hand me 10 land. I'm here to buy 8 land, 8 piece of land. So
Okay.
will this business is ending? You are having 10 piece of land and I am having 8. I need to buy 8 piece only. So you are still having me 2 piece of land now, which means that
Yes.
that business is still inactive. When you are coming 8 buyer 8 seller, pura business kadam close, shuttered down. But when the market is, always remember that the unfinished business is driving the market. If business is finishing, the buyer and seller is agreeable with price aata, to what happened, the business is ending there. So the unfinished business, somebody will come to buy 10 lot, somebody will come to provide 8 lots. So what will happen, the particular price, the 8 lot will trade and 2 lot will, he will go to find another price to close the trade. This is how the trading happening. So I track unfinished business, and GoCharting providing an important and a finest unfinished tracking trade setup, where you need to activate the GoCharting order flow. So there you will get, I'm activating the order flow for that purpose. Just a minute.
Okay. Can we also show the unfinished business
Here,
option?
I will show you. For example, Bank Nifty. And one more thing, I'm trading mostly in Bank Nifty for intraday scalping. Mostly. When
Hmm.
so in GoCharting there is a setup called, whenever you see this kind of a cyan color, that is called unfinished buying area. Whenever you see this red color, which is called line called unfinished selling area. Clear? So whenever the market moves in a direction that,
Sorry, I will pause you here.
okay,
So can we go to footprint setting and show this actually? What are the settings you switched on? Go to footprint setting, please.
okay,
Can we scroll it down and show how do you mark those unfinished?
here,
Yes. So the last option is there.
yes,
We can switch it on so that we can see that the unfinished business option is on.
okay,
We can see those lines.
okay,
Okay. Switch it on again and then
okay.
okay.
So actually you asked about unfinished business. Actually there is settings in order flow chart, footprint chart may in settings. If you go to settings, there is an option called, in niche auto you will see unfinished business. You need to uh, click karna, then this will become blue, which means that that is activated in the chart. So if you look at here, you see a chart here. If if I pause here, you can't see the line. Now the line is coming, you're seeing it now. So what happened now,
Right.
whenever this unfinished business, usually unfinished business are driving the market. I will show you what I am doing. For example, this is the Friday ka bank nifty ka chart. You see, market open kar diya, there is a gap and here is a zero. So whenever the order flow, whenever you see an order flow in the go charting, left main selling, right main buying. You need to understand, left main selling hai, right main buying hai. And whenever the auction ends with zero, zero either here or zero either lower of a candle, both. And if a business has to finish means zero to be here and zero to be like here. Look at here, zero to be here, 0 to be here. So whenever the business is finishing means both side it has to end with 0. Both side it has to end with 0. 0 means no liquidity further, which is indicating the order flow business is coming. So whenever this kind of a unfinished business 6 and 21, which means somebody is there, he is there, he doesn't got his trade. Some no, so if we are some temple may what have happened or a marriage may we invite somebody and the food is gone, what will give? Many people are waiting to eat food. The people will arrange the food, which one food to give them now. Same process, this is a business unfinished kar diya, not finished, still is a unfinished one. So order flow will give you a charting like this way. So I used to track these kind of a trades. Unfinished business, how I trade now, I watch very next candle, very next candle. And if that auction is finishing here, this, look at here, the auction is unfinished here. And look here, the market नीचे आ गया, auction finish कर दिया. So what will I do is ना, I used to take a reversal trade. Market नीचे आ गया, I used to take a trade for hunting this trade. I took a
Okay.
trade here to hunt this trade. This is called unfinished business trade. So and one more thing, and I have a target in mind that if I am getting 40 points in Bank Nifty option, I will exit my half position and I will keep stop loss for testing this. If I'm tested with the 40 points, the market comes here and I got 40 points now, I will cover my position. But if I get here, the 40 points aa gaya. So what will I do? I close half and I keep a cost at here and aim for this trade. This is how I unfinished. And remember, whenever the unfinished business comes now, it has to finish either today or else in coming days also. So for example, if market is moving with the upper side, look at here, market mode, unfinished business and downside, buying area. Look at here, buying area. I am telling about 53 8618, 53 850. Look at here, 53 54 on 41. So whenever someone will ask that there is an unfinished business here, you can we take a put or can I short here? Not. You need to understand the trend of the market. If market is moving up, why you need to drive for this? You have a time to drive this. When if market is reversing from this area to this area, or else market is having a sell, market is coming with a selling, then you can hunt for this trade. Otherwise, never do a contract trade by seeing this. This is a disclaimer for you guys if you are following it. So you need to understand the trend first. Market is moving up, which means that upper level has to finish. Clear? Not the lower level. So that what I am doing myself. So I will mark this in my book. These are the levels to be finished when market coming down. So if market is coming down, I see a selling in the order flow and market is making a balance here and it is coming down, which means that there is a higher chance that market will test this, test this, test
Okay,
this,
so
this.
if I take a little time of yours,
Yes,
so if I can summarize these points, basically the unfinished area are the area, where you can keep your target. That is point number one.
yes,
Second thing is that by just looking at unfinished area, do not go simply by in that direction
yes,
until and unless you get a proper market direction, that the
yes,
market, if you are getting unfinished business
ye-
below and the market is in trending direction to upside, just do not take trade to those areas, but wait when the market changes its direction, the delta is the negative delta is in your favor, then you can some kind of have as a logic that okay, if market is going down, market can test these unfinished areas, if
yes,
I'm not wrong.
yes, correct, correct. For example, look at here. There is an unfinished business in Bank Nifty on Thursday at this level, which means that
Mm.
somebody is in still action. So I never took a P here for this to test. Clear? I was waiting that
Mm.
this has to finish first. If this is finishing and there is no further volume is coming above this area, then what will happen? The market tagaya is tired up. So when it is tired up means it has to finish the lower demand area to find the momentum. Like you said, no single print working, same structure. Has to come test here buyer. If buying is there, then it will give another which one upward momentum. Otherwise, this is how it. Unless or until you get a clear clarification, you don't take a reversal trade. Go with the trend. Make the trend pay.
This is a quite good setup. I can feel it, like it will give you a proper target. Like there are many people who struggle to find, they make entry but they book, sometime they book early, right?
Yes.
So this, I think this tool is going to help us to know till what point we can book safely.
Yes, one more thing. When market is giving a clear upward trend direction, now you need to understand that this unfinished. For example, Bank Nifty upper going like a mad thing from the couple of days. Look at the unfinished here. which means that still the bank nifty has a momentum to go up more. So there you don't take a contracted, never do a firefighting here. Find a upper side UFB and go and hunt for that. So I'm carrying a position, like for example, I'm just simply I'm carrying some position for this to hunt, because market I have a loss appetite in my mind. Still I'm having that this has to test on Monday, and you will see that this will test, and we will go above that also.
Okay, so to go to, to find your unfinished business area, you have to simply find out the direction of the market with the help of data,
Yes.
and then target those unfinished business. So basically, here we have two unfinished business. One
Yes.
is on the lower side, that is 54,140, and one is on the upper side, on the
Yes.
top,
Yes. Yes.
on the top.
Yes.
Okay, so on the top, can you go on the, yeah, this one. So we have this red line as unfinished on the sell side and buy unfinished on the lower side.
Yes.
But because the market direction is on the,
Upside.
upside, we have a lot of strength coming in the market. So we will be targeting this upper side unfinished business.
Yes, and we will watch
Understood.
there. And remember,
Wow.
this unfinished has to finish one time. Like now, we used to call a OTF trader, one time frame seller. Whether you are an intraday player, whether you are a positional player, whether you are a prop desk, like you are an institution player, like a yearly commerce, whatever it have, the time frame will decide your nature of trades. For example, if no for 50,000 not coming in the bank nifty, either unless or until sometime it will come. The
Mm-hmm.
time we didn't know, that has to finish, like
Understood.
now the demand has to finish or the supply has to finish one time, that we don't know. But that's why I told you now, never go with an overnight position for this trade. Never go. It's my simply request for everybody, if you are watching it, never go overnight position for the trade. Do this intraday basis, scalp करे तो करके निकल. You need to figure out but how much point you need to take it. That's why never go for a overnight portion by using this UFP. You mark it in
Wow.
your book. Next day, if market is giving again momentum, you track for that.
Absolute pleasure, man. Absolute pleasure. I mean, this had solved one of my major problem. So I'm definitely going to use this for setting up my targets.
Yes, this was using
Wow.
for a long time for me, and it's helping for me to understand this my trading setup, and I'm getting enough confidence in my trading. For the last couple of months, my trading number of trades have gone increased due to this, because I am scalping it. So some fine day, whether even though market is not giving a big move, I scalped 5 or 6 times in Bank Nifty.
Mm-hmm.
There I hunt for 20 points, 25 points.
Acha, Vishnu, one last question. So this concept I completely understood, and I hope our viewers have understood. Now, do you have any suggestion on the tick size, the block size here?
I actually I used to do an in order flow my settings may I used to play with it with 25
Rupees block. So
25
25 means 5
5
rupees
5 5
block.
rupees block, because if you give an auto mode here na, this sometimes this will
It
miss,
will keep.
this will miss. If this will miss na,
Okay.
there's a trading opportunity
Mhm.
missing for you. So I don't want to miss that, so I am giving this kind of settings, I'm using it. I'm finally because your go charting team helped me a lot to setting all the kind of things.
Great. Beautifully said, Vishnu. This was an absolute pleasure. Thank you for sharing your journey, your wisdom, your energy, your setups with us today. It was a great pleasure meeting you.
Thanks, Go Chatting team for providing me this which one podcast for me to introduce the setups and everything, and it was a nice pleasure for me also.
Wow. And I'm very, very hopeful that these setups will help our viewers or trading community as a large. Thank you. Thank you so much, Vishnu. Bye bye.
Take care.